Okay.
Should I say the law office of, or should I?
McManus and Amadeo.
Okay, from, okay,
And Arbor if you want.
okay, gotcha. I always like to give everybody a shout out.
Appreciate it.
No problem, man. All right, we're about to start. Two seconds. Three. We're about to start now. We're live. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the night show. This is Tyrone Bridges, what I thought you knew. And this is the legal corner with legal defense attorney, Bill Amadeo. Welcome, Bill.
Hey, Tyrone. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
No problem. Well, first of all, let's jump in right in there without no chaser. The question to you today is the arraignment process for a convicted, well, actually a criminal defendant.
Right. So here's what happens. There's a police report done. And if the police or the prosecutor deem it to be warranted, that individual could be detained in the county jail for up to 72 hours. At that juncture, they will be arraigned before the magistrate or the district court judge, depending upon what county you're in. In Washington, it will be before the magistrate. The defendant can then plead guilty, not guilty, or stand mute. Usually in Washington, it's preferred to stand mute and waive a formal reading. At that point, the defense lawyer will argue bond. And when we talk about bond, we turn to the bond factors, 6.106, which basically take a bunch of factors into consideration, which I'm sure we'll get into a little bit later, because obviously what's going on in Washington right now, the big issue is bond. And, let me just say, for years, there's been a problem, especially with Black defendants getting bonds that are too high. That's been one of the issues we've dealt with, because remember, when you are charged with something, there is still a presumption of innocence. Mm-hmm. So this is a unique situation with the child victim where we see the community asking for more bond. There's been a history in Washington of bonds being too high with innocent people. We got a whole reversal thing going on here. But to answer your first question, that's the arraignment process.
All right. All right. The actual process of when a defendant gets into the court before a magistrate and his public defender or his hired attorney, when discussing this whole process, please walk us through that, sir.
Okay. So what will happen is the judge will say, okay, let's hear what you have to say about bond. If the prosecutor is present, they will present reasons why there should either be a high bond or no bond. And then defense counsel will argue why their client should either be released on a PR bond, which is a personal recognizance bond, which means you don't have to pay anything, or if there should be a cash bond imposed. So basically, it's like a mini argument before the things really hit off, because after your arraignment, on a felony at least, misdemeanor is a little more simple, but on a felony, you have your probable cause conference, and then you have a preliminary examination. One thing that's often missed here is, let's say there was no prosecutor present, and the defense counsel argued and got a low bond. It's the prosecutor's right to either file an emergency bond motion or argue for a heightened bond at the probable cause conference. So that also flips. If the prosecutor got too high of a bond from the magistrate, defense counsel can then file an emergency motion. And the reality here is, no matter how you feel about the bond, either the prosecution or the defense will have the option to basically appeal the bond, which is what happened in the Ypsilanti case.
All right. All right. So the bond argument, some say the judge received, or I don't want to speak about the specifics because I don't want to get across any murky lines, but in the initial charge document from the arresting officer to the actual prosecutor, when the prosecutor receives the bond sheet or the bond sheet, from there, what do they do from there? So the public can understand.
Two things can happen. One, the prosecutor can send over a bond. Well, actually, three things I should say. Number one, they could send over a bond recommendation. And a bond recommendation will just be what the charges are, what the defendant's criminal history is, and what they feel the bond should be. The second option would be the prosecutor doesn't send anything over, and then you only have the defense counsel basically arguing solo. Or the third option is the prosecution can show up to the arraignment and argue the merits of that bond recommendation they made. And understand something, there's a big difference between sending over a recommendation sheet as opposed to a human being making a passionate argument. So if we want to get into what happened on June 7th, I'll be happy to talk about that if we want to bring that to life. I got no problem with that. But We're just talking about the process for right now.
Okay.
Prosecution sends over a bond recommendation. Defense counsel argues it. And there is a big difference between a prosecutor showing up and making an argument and just a piece of paper being sent over. To understand, I mean, it's just a common sense thing. So on June 7th, do you want to get into that?
Go ahead. I'm
No.
with you.
On June 7th, Magistrate Fink, who's gotten a lot of heat on this issue, was sent over a bond recommendation. And if you watch the 11-minute arraignment on June 7th, which is on YouTube,
Okay.
I posted on my page, but June 7th, Magistrate Elijah Fink, it's about 11 minutes. I could post it in the comments later if you want, so people could see for themselves. What happened was the defendant was arraigned. Defense counsel pled not guilty, asked to be heard on bond. Pretty standard at that point. She saw what the charges were, and there was a recommendation, but it was only the defense counsel being present there. Defense counsel argued that he believed it was an accidental shooting. That's certainly up for debate and not my case, but you can watch it on YouTube.
Right.
And what we do see is that we have a 29-year-old man with no prior criminal history.
Right.
So with that being stated, the first cause for concern is that this individual is being held at the Livingston County Jail, not the Washtenaw Jail. Now, if we're going to hold somebody in a jail that's not their county, that's cause for concern.
Right.
And I heard what you said earlier about the $100,000 bond. You made a great point. If this kid has money, he could post a bond. Nobody will even know about it. Okay. Now, we certainly don't want anybody to be in jeopardy, but it certainly is an issue that if he's going to be released back to Washtenaw County, well, wait a minute. What's going on here? Should he ever be given a bond at that point? So Magistrate Fink, she made a bond ruling based on the bond factors. And two of the factors that went into the low bond were, number one, he had retained counsel. Number two, it was presented that was an accidental shooting. Am I allowed to curse on this or not?
Say that again. Say that again, Bill, please. I'm not trying to interrupt you.
Yep.
That is very important for everybody to hear.
There was an argument made that there was an accidental shooting. Understand that. And there was nobody to dispute that argument at the time.
So stop right there. There was no sheriff or no deputy or no arresting officer or somebody from the prosecutor's attorney.
In fact, to go further, defense counsel even said in talking to the officer in charge, I don't know why this guy was charged the way he was.
I heard that.
And you can watch it on YouTube. I'll send you the link.
I heard that.
You know?
So go ahead.
So now if we have someone, and I believe this individual is probably a danger to the community because a 6-year-old child got shot.
Right. Me too.
I think a police officer should have been there to say, hey, wait a minute. We got a problem here. Let's not release him to the community. Understand something. Magistrate Fink says, I don't know anything about this case. I know there was a minor that was allegedly injured. I have a 29-year-old man with no priors, and defense counsel says they believe it's an accidental shooting.
And so, nobody here to argue.
Nobody here to argue, right?
The contrary.
At that point. Now, the outrage came when Magistrate Fink gave a $10,000 cash bond. So what happened at that point was we saw the prosecutor, Ellie Savitt and Victoria Burton Harris, be very upset about this low bond. So they filed an emergency motion. And they filed the emergency motion before District Court Judge Anna Freshour. Ellie Savitt argued very well and he won his motion. And Judge Freshour said, and I quote, she was disturbed about the details that were placed on the record.
Say that again.
Judge Freshour said she was disturbed about the details that were placed on the record. And Judge Freshour, let's understand something about her. A lot of admiration for her. She was a damn good criminal defense lawyer, but she's objective on the bench. And when she heard what the prosecution put on the record, she said, well, we're going to give a heightened bond here because she felt this individual was a danger to the community. And And that makes sense, right?
Yes, sir.
But understand something, and I respect this prosecutor's office. I think we're making great strides from Brian Mackey. But if there was that argument at the initial arraignment, we may not have had this issue. We can't blame Magistrate Fink for not knowing all the facts when she was only given a sheet placed in front of her
with 2 charges.
2 charges and a guy with no criminal history.
None.
And a lawyer who said, and he was told, the lawyer's not a liar. He said the officer in charge gave him information. He doesn't understand why this was charged the way it was because it looked like an accidental shooting.
So let me get this completely clear so the public can understand. Joseph Simon is an actual criminal defense attorney, private. Am I right or wrong?
Correct. Private, yeah.
What the magistrate did, appointed him immediately a counsel to represent him, right? Was
the defendant hired Mr. Simon.
Okay. All right. So he hired him.
He hired him, and Mr. Simon showed up and he argued the bond factors, which is Joe's job to do.
Gotcha.
Now, Joe said after talking to the officer in charge, these were the facts as we know it. Joe Simon is not a liar. He was given information. What I think happened here is more information came out in the next couple days, which caused the outrage.
Right.
When the prosecutor's office decided to file their emergency motion, and I'm telling this as a defense lawyer, I completely commend them for filing that motion.
Right.
But let's understand something. Magistrate Fink would often give fair bonds against Mackey's administration when young Black men and women were being overly charged with bonds. So she's a fair woman. Mm-hmm. She did not know there was a 6-year-old child that was wounded because of a reckless act or an intentional act. That was never presented to her.
And if you hear it in the video, she didn't have any information.
No.
Because it just fell on her lap, basically. And I'm not defending the judge. I give a damn about a judge. What I'm just saying, she said specifically, it just fell on her lap and she saw what she saw. So apparently the charges were not completely clear. Nobody from the prosecutor's office, not arresting officer was there to actually speak on the actual charges, right or wrong.
Exactly, 100%. And she actually says in the YouTube video to Joe Simon, you know more about this case than I do. She goes, it looks like the victim was a minor. Because I've heard some Facebook trolls come on my page and say, she knew this and she knew that. Okay, am I allowed to curse on your show or not?
This is an open format. It will not get taken down.
Okay, that's bullshit. If Magistrate Fink knew that a 6-year-old child was shot in a potentially intentional act, she never would have given the man the bond she had.
You know what?
Let's be clear on that.
Bill, you know for a fact this is our very first interview ever, right?
Absolutely.
I reached out to you, didn't I?
You did.
You didn't reach out to me. I reached out to you.
Reached out to me.
I said, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about the process. But I do believe in my gut, and whoever can come after me, whatever, run it. What I'm saying is if she knew that it was a 6-year-old boy in the doggone charging document,
right? I
am sure, oh my God, that she wouldn't have gave that man no bond.
Absolutely not. And when you heard Ellie Savitt argue in front of Judge Freshour, you saw the outrage in the community. Ellie made a good argument. He's like, you know what? This guy potentially could have killed a 6-year-old child. Well, when we know that, well, fuck him, dude.
Right.
Yeah. And you know what the problem is here? If he is who he's being portrayed in the charging documents, then $100,000 is probably going to be posted, and he's still a danger to the community.
Exactly.
So, and I respect what Ellie and Victoria did in raising the bond, but I'm also concerned this guy could potentially post a bond. There's some dangers here, and it's not just for danger to our community. There are people that want to kill this guy. If somebody is going to shoot at him, well, now an innocent person could get killed along the way. There's a lot of dangers associated with this case. We've heard the threats, to Magistrate Fink. And I'm going to tell you, that's bullshit. If Magistrate Fink was armed with all the information we had on June 11th,
he
would
wouldn't
not
have
have
got no
done it.
bond.
Now, in fairness, the prosecutor's office is so busy, they may not have known everything on June 7th. And that's why you have the option for an emergency bond. But to say that Magistrate Fink didn't care about a black child, if any child got killed, black, white, blue, or green, she would not have given that man that bond.
I think the record needs to be completely clear right now.
Yep.
If from the beginning, from the start, when he was arraigned, either, and I'm just going to say it as a citizen, as a taxpayer citizen, as a voter, either the arresting officer should have had him there, himself there, or if Ellie was too busy painting, maybe he should have sent his assistant, because two prosecutors, the assistant and the top prosecutor, can't be too preoccupied to step into a case like this. All I'm saying, I'm not trying to make it a political battle, but think about it. You got to do over, Ellie. You got to own your mistakes. But at the same time, am I right or wrong? You cannot throw this judge under the bus, because what you have done, you have sling poison to every judge in the county, because what you refuse to do is man up. Man up like a real fucking man. I'm sorry, Bill, forgive me.
No, you're
man up like a real man and say, oops, this was a slip up. Never happen again.
Here's the one thing I'll say in defense of Ellie on this, and I'm going to go back to your quote about the officer. In Wayne County, on the weekends, now Wayne County, I think they have, I think it's like 187 people in that prosecutor's office. It's a crazy, it never stops in Wayne, right?
Right.
So I got a guy on Wayne County on a CSC1 or a homicide or an AWIM, whatever I may have. And I practice in 16 different counties. Let me be clear. So geography is a big thing the way this goes. But I'm going to quote how Wayne County would do it, because I think we have a far more sophisticated office in Wayne County. I'm going to tell you this. What happens in Wayne County is they may not have a prosecutor there arguing, but they sure as hell have the cop that made the arrest arguing, and that he or she's going to say, let me tell you something, Judge. Here's why I don't think this bond is right.
Right.
There was no communication from any police officer there.
None.
So I don't blame Ellie or Victoria for anything, because I understand things happen, but the cop that made the arrest, who knows more about this case at that time than the officer who brings the defendant to the goddamn jail?
I completely agree. But the funny thing about it, on the video, he was in Livingston, and the public demands transparency. And
Sure.
no, Ellie, all I can say is the only thing I can give you credit for is grabbing my man and bringing him back on the emergency hearing. But my thing is this, quote me if I'm wrong. Forgive me if I'm wrong. The new prosecuting attorney's office set the tone for the no bond tempo. I'm a DJ. I understand tempos. When I mix, I got to make sure the tempos is sync. If the prosecutor set the tone, no bond, no cash bond. And if I'm not here, the only thing a judge, a magistrate has to go on is the template. And I'm just being blunt.
No,
They have to just go on what has happened and the pattern in the office. Am I wrong? Right.
You make a great point. Let me include some clarity on that. So when Ellie ran on the elimination of cash bond, the goal there was for poor people not to be held. But he also said this. He goes, there's going to be times when it's not about economics. If I think somebody's truly a danger to the community, they shouldn't be given a bond at all. So he went from, go ahead.
I'm sorry, say that part one and just pause right there.
Yep.
If I think there's a danger to the community,
they should not be given a bond at all.
So when you got a bus driver driving a bunch of kids to school,
Mhm.
the bus driver don't say, I'm just going to drive until I think I'm at the school. And then when I'm there, y'all ass get off. The bus driver makes sure they get to the school.
Yeah.
Everybody off. That sounds like to me that you threw that out there like, if I think that they're a danger to the community, in which, and I'm sorry for taking up this time,
No,
in
go ahead.
which they shot a 6-year-old boy. And when Ellie was campaigning, he came on my show. There was a 6-year-old boy who got shot in Superior Township. They did not find the shooters in Superior Township because the mother and the father of the baby boy refused to tell who shot the baby. Ellie said, you can hold me to my word. When he said you can hold me to my word, it didn't give me my strength to say, okay, I'm gonna be right behind. Wait, but he told that to the public, and the public said, wait, let's call him to the carpet for what he said, because he's another 6-year-old boy got shot. We know who the shooter is, and now on the auspices of a do-over, and let's just be blunt. In the auspices of a do-over, you get a second chance to make shit right. That's just, it is what it is. But you can't throw a judge or a magistrate under the bus and leave her under the bus without even opening your mouth and say, look, I'm the prosecutor. I fucked up. I takes the blame. This magistrate just did her job. But what has happened, he left her out here like a scarecrow on a lonely ass highway in Arizona, and she up here running for her life because people threatening her. And all I'm saying, y'all, it's a federal offense if you threaten a judge.
Yeah.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. If you want to threaten somebody, hold them threats. Put them into prayers. Do not threaten a judge. It is illegal. Bill told you what's happening. Bill telling you that the judge did not have 100% fault. You can fault the judge for what she said. Good luck. You can fault the judge for her admiration, her positive admiration to the defendant. But do not threaten the judge. Listen to the complete facts. And Bill, I'm sorry for taking so long. Please take it over.
No, and I'll defend Ellie on this. He may not have had all the information on June 7th. I'll tell you who did. The arresting officer. The fact that nobody argued for a higher bond, we can't put that on the judge. We cannot put it on a judge who was not armed with the goddamn information at the time she made her ruling. Now, if she saw the video that made its way around and she made that decision with that knowledge, then you got a right to be pissed off.
Then torture her ass.
But that's not what happened, Tyrone.
That's not
what happened. And when Judge Freshour learned the facts, she was pissed. She raised the bond because she was worried about the Washington community. So I admire Eli's argument before Judge Freshour, but I do not think it's right to throw Magistrate Fink under the goddamn bus when she didn't know the information. Okay, and I also don't think it's right that the faux house should have been protested when this guy worked there not since 2015. If we're going to attack or target, we got to have the goddamn facts in place. Okay, I was out there in protest all summer. Everybody knows I'm defending the Grady L case. Okay, and let me tell you something. This magistrate and it's public record on the Grady L case, gave me a PR bond when on the same type of charges in Washington, Shatina had $100,000 cash bond. So don't tell me.
Rewind that one more time so they can hear you completely clearly.
On the Grady L case, this magistrate gave me a PR bond. But in Wayne County, before I was involved with the Grady L's, Shatina served time in jail for bullshit charges because they gave her $100,000 cash bond because the prosecutor misrepresented facts about Shatina. That's in the public eye, okay? So I want you to think about this. If this black woman, who, by the way, in my opinion, was beaten by the Washington Sheriff's Department, that's a story for another time.
Right.
Okay, we'll save that for court.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
get me started on that shit right now.
Right.
But she served months in jail because she could not afford to post a bond, and Magistrate Fink did the right thing and gave her a PR bond. So don't tell me that Elijah Fink is fucking racist. That's bullshit, Tyrone.
Y'all, look, what we need to do, we need to chase the facts. And we completely talked about the facts from start till now. The process, the arraignment, the process, then the bail. If the prosecuting attorney really, and I'm not as a word for throwing him under the bus, I'm pushing him under the bus. If he really wanted that man locked up, he would have been, or somebody would have been from his office to argue the bond, to argue the difference between the two counts that he had presented with Alicia Fink. 2 counts, only 2. She was trying to understand how to merge them, but nobody here from the prosecutor's office could speak on them. So Joe Simon, very powerful lawyer, did what he's supposed to do while there were nobody over there in the prosecuting attorney box or from the arresting officer box. He was supposed to fight and get that man free. He was supposed to fight and make sure that man get out of jail. That's exactly what he did. We can be mad as hell. Y'all can be mad as hell at me. But I am talking about the process from the legal aspect. You cannot blame a magistrate for not having all the correct facts. But at the same time, you can point at her for whatever she say. Okay, fine. But you would have to go through all of the United States of America and dog out every magistrate that said good luck to each one of their defendants. Let's be real.
Sure.
Everyone, because I know Magistrate Fink is not the only magistrate that said good luck. Because when I went to jail, when I went to prison, my magistrate told me, good luck, sir. I know. That's what they say. So don't blame her until you get the complete facts. Bill is here. Bill heard. Bill ain't even on his case, but he's speaking the facts. He's speaking the facts. She ain't my fucking friend. Right. She ain't my friend. And I'm sure Bill and her ain't friends. But the facts have to be explained from a legal perspective. If you ain't got no law degree, you ain't been through no doggone trials, you ain't no defense attorney, you ain't been before a judge who offered an arraignment. All I'm saying, let the professionals speak.
And I've never socialized with Magistrate Fink, but I find her to be a very fair jurist. I find her to be someone who gives defendants the benefit of the doubt when there has been a lot of racist prosecutions. And thankfully, with Eli and Victoria, we're seeing a lot less of that. But Washington's been people don't realize this. The difference between Ann Arbor And Ypsilanti is not just a 20-minute drive. It's freedom versus incarceration. I didn't know just how bad black defendants had it in Ypsilanti until I started taking those cases. I always had white clients in the Washington. You know, I always got amazing results. And then I learned when I have a black client, I got to work 2 times as hard. Okay. At least 2 times as hard. And Magistrate Fink has given many people a chance to have access to their lawyer. She did not know the facts in this situation. And I'm not going to blame Ellie Sabat for it, but I sure as hell I'm going to put some blame on the arresting officer who was right there present. Anybody could have spoke up. And by the way, if I was in Joe Simon's shoes, I sure as hell would have been fighting to get my guy out. That's my job. Understand that. So let's not give shit to Joe Simon about that. Joe Simon and I are not best of friends. We battle for different clients in Washington, but he did a good job. Doing his job. Doing his job. That's it. We're not going to bowl games together, but the man was doing his job. All right, being objective. Elijah Fink did her job based on the facts represented. The officer, if there was such a problem with the goddamn bond, the officer should have said, hold on, magistrate. Here's what you don't know.
Wait, say that again. It was crickets when it was time for anybody on the officer or the prosecutor side to talk. There
was no counter argument. No, there was no counter argument. The only information she had was the information that was argued at bond. And the only voice was that of the defense lawyer. And
that was better. Hey, am I right or wrong? And I'm straight bullshit, but I'm serious. That was better than the Monopoly game, a get out of jail free card. I mean, if the prosecutor ain't there and the arresting officer ain't there, shit, it's a field day. We can talk with the judge all day. We can kick it in bullshit because she can't, ain't nobody here. That was a get out of jail free card. Let's be honest, y'all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was a get out of jail free card.
Bill, if I would have shot a child on my block, let's be honest. Would you be talking to me on the podcast right now? You'd be talking to me from what? Washington County jail.
And I'd be
for real.
Absolutely.
And you'd probably be arguing my ass about the bond. Literally, let's give an imaginary bond for serious. Let's be honest. For somebody like my ass shooting a kid out of my own home, bam! I wouldn't have got no bond.
Right. You wouldn't have.
It would have probably been 2 or 3 cases before I got a bond. I'd have been begging. I'd have been on the phone in my lonely, orange suit, talking to Bill, talking about, Bill, can you argue my bond? Because I need to get out of here. For real. So he's telling us right now, the process, what had happened.
Yeah.
It's not no BS. It's coming from a lawyer, a licensed attorney. Somebody who you will call in the middle of the night and say, they got my ass locked up here in the county jail. I need you, Bill. So you have the relationship as far as, you know what a 6 a.m. in the morning call. You know what an arraignment call when people like, let's talk. This right here, we got to negotiate. If a prosecutor, is it a field day when the prosecutor not there when you arraignment? Let's talk about that. Is it a field day? It's your best day, right?
I'll tell you what. If there's no prosecutor and no officer in charge, it's a cakewalk. All right. Now, in Wayne County, again, on the weekend arraignments, which I've done many, when there's no prosecutor there, that officer in charge steps up. Hold on, judge. Don't just listen to Mr. Amadeo. Let me tell you this.
Priority.
Absolutely.
Right. Basically, if the officer can't be there, the prosecutor to be there. If the prosecutor can't be there, the officer is going, your ass going to get locked up. Basically what they saying. Am I wrong or right?
I had a case. You're right. And I had a case in Wayne in 2018. And it was a real ugly CSC one. Guy's facing life in prison. And I got him an extremely low bond, but I made such a great argument. No prosecutor was there. They were going to PR bond. And the cop said, hold on. Wait a minute. Magistrate, may I speak? Here's what you need to know about Mr. Smith. And then we went back and forth. Now, granted, the officer may not have the public speaking ability of the lawyer, but who knows more about the case than the guy or girl that made the goddamn arrest?
say that. It should have been mandatory, and I'm gonna say this for public record. The attorney don't have to say it. I'm saying it on I Thought You Knew. At least the arresting officer should have showed up,
Spoke up.
spoke up. We wouldn't be here, right here, where we at right now. Ellie wouldn't be sitting there sweating bullets and making hostage videos with Victoria talking about, hey, it wasn't our fault, it wasn't our fault. If somebody should have stepped up and did their job. But see, right now, we have people running around, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. But let me let y'all know something, public. If any man have ever made babies out of his penis, and I'm gonna say it real because we talking lawyers talk. Any woman have ever made any babies out of them eggs in her womb? In your right mind, on a wrong day, you should have been there. You should have argued. You should have listened to that family. That baby screamed for his life. He said, he shot me. If a 6-year-old that is your child says, he shot me. And if the Fox 2 News bring that to the public before that fucking paint dries in Riverside Park, and you could have stepped up and sent a cop, Victoria, somebody to fight for that motherfucking baby, because that baby screamed. And that was all of our babies screamed. When that baby said, he shot me, a 6-year-old in Washtenaw County says he shot me. What is wrong with this process? We can't sugarcoat this shit. That's the problem. We making hostage videos. Well, I did not mean to let him go. No, that's a baby. The 6-year-old right now, psychologically, is not going to understand what has happened to him for at least another 5 years. For at least the Washtenaw County Sheriff Department, the prosecuting attorney's office, nobody has sent a psychological professional over there to check on this baby. We want to talk about who is at fault. Prosecutor Ellie Savith. If you'd have had somebody there, we wouldn't have a do-over. If you'd have made sure that the arresting officer would explain the fucking charges from start to finish, the judge would have had a proper understanding, or the magistrate would have understood what to do. I'm sure if she'd have said a 6-year-old got shot because he was pissed off because the child left a bike on his lawn, Magistrate Fink would have locked his ass up and let the next fucking judge decide on his bond.
I agree.
And that's just my belief, because I don't have no likings to none of them. But I think if the explanation would have been clear, let's be clear, because what we're doing, we're bullshitting the public. And one thing that the public don't like is bullshit. You're going to come back and make that hostage video, you and Victoria, and go say, no, we requested $100,000 bond. Why that baby bullet is singed in his arm. And we gonna try to figure out who's to blame. Ellie, Victoria, on God, on Jesus, on Allah, on Yahweh, on every God name on this earth. You should be ashamed of yourself, and you should never put a judge or a magistrate out there before y'all, because y'all should have done your job day one. We wouldn't be here today. We would not be here today. If it was my child, grab the daddy. Because there's going to be some fuckery going down in this bitch. I am not going to wait on your prosecuting ass, because you don't know how to prosecute. You do not know how to prosecute. We're going to go back to the Western days. I'm taking a motherfucking eye for an eye, because what you did some bullshit. You threw Alicia Fink under the bus, and you need to step out and you need to take the blame. Flat out. And Sheriff Clayton, the deputy who arrested this guy, if he ain't man or woman enough to step the fuck up, fire that motherfucker. Period. A baby? 6? In another country, in Iraq, the motherfucking Muslims can kill a whole nation over their babies. You motherfuckers playing with us. With mine, I will slaughter the whole fucking family. What y'all did fucked over this family. Ellie, Sabbath, y'all need to quit bullshitting, because you know you're wrong. You know you're wrong. The arresting officer, where your ass at? Where you at? Let's be real. We ain't gonna sit there and throw this magistrate under the bus. All you motherfuckers that did wrong need to step the fuck up. The magistrate shouldn't be running for her life. Am I wrong or right, bro?
I completely agree. The magistrate should not be taking the blunt of this. Okay. I completely agree that Elijah Fink would not do that. And I'll tell you this. I don't necessarily know what facts were known on June 7th. So I don't know what Ellie or Victoria knew, but I will say this, because I get along with Ellie and Victoria, but the officer in charge, nobody knew more than that individual. Somebody should have spoke up for the victim on June 7th and put more detail into it. Remember, when there's a judge, we don't want the judge knowing anything other than what the lawyers are saying. So if they just read a full report, like some of the trolls are saying, you know what that would start? Let's stop there for a minute. Because I tell you, you may wear the black robe, but you're still a human being. You're going to go on emotions. And if there's a report that you read the whole thing in front of before your lawyer had a chance to argue, then nobody's ever going to get bonded. There's going to be innocent people locked up. There has to be a system. And here's what I think should have happened. Lock the guy up for the 72 hours you're allowed to. Have all the parties present armed with all the information to make your arguments, like what happened before Judge Freshour, and then make informed decisions. If we're just going to put them in and out like they're cattle, shit like this is going to happen. If we're going to go that route, we're going to protect victims and protect constitutional rights, we got to have our shit together at the arraignment.
And we can't have preferential treatments. If this motherfucker got a family member in Washtenaw County and he's arraigned in Livingston County, public, all you people that are voting, taxpayers, Washtenaw County, ask the question. If this man can shoot a baby, a 6-year-old baby, a 6-year-old Washtenaw County baby, and this man can get arraigned in Livingston County, if that ain't preferential treatment, then all y'all motherfuckers need to go to hell. My passion speaks through God, period. We don't waver. If that was my baby, he get arraigned in Livingston County, Sheriff Clayton, I'm gonna knock at your motherfucking door. And I want the motherfucker who arrested the motherfucker who's arraigned in Livingston County. Sheriff Clayton, you did some fuckery. Prosecuting attorney, I don't care. If anybody want to protect you, you should have been there. You should have been there. That was a 6-year-old child. I got 9 motherfucking kids. I got 9 motherfuckers like me on this motherfucking earth. And why you sitting there saying that you won't do nothing to this guy who shot a 6-year-old child? Can you imagine the pain that you cause throughout Washington County for people who can make babies like me? Fathers who are angry right now, wondering, should we strap up? Ellie Sabbath, I am a God. I make kids. Do you have any? Let's ask that question. But what you have done, you have slapped people in Washington County in the face with your policies in the beginning of your administrations. That sound good shit was not good for Washington County. What you did, you bugled all the criminals. Come on to Washington County. I'm going to give you a tic-tac, a PR bond. I'm going to give you an easy way out this thing. Let's talk real. I'm sorry, Bill, but this is the realest shit that we can talk about here, because we can't be giving people PR bonds, slap on the wrist when they harm our babies. And we got predators out here that's fucking kids, that's fucking boys, that's fucking girls, and you giving them PR bonds. What the fuck is going on? What up? Seriously, we got cases. Ellie, you came on the show, said called you to the carpet. What you're doing, you're going to other people's shows. You went to TMZ and bullshitted them, because if TMZ knew exactly what the fuck was going on in your bloodline, they would call you back to the carpet. I'm sorry, Bill. But this motherfucker has perpetrated the fucking fraud to a lot of people. And this kid was a damn doggone situation that shouldn't have never happened. This kid's situation is he's not a martyr today. He's not a martyr today. Ellie, you should be a victim. You ain't standing up for no victims. People are calling, Ellie left my people. Look, there are news crew, channel 2, 7, and 4, talking about this administration. Wake the fuck up. We can't sit there and blame a magistrate. And if you're threatening the magistrate, the federal government is looking for your ass. Don't do that. That's not how we do it. We need to go to the top. The top is the fucking prosecutor. He's not my fucking friend. But he hurt that little boy. That boy is hurt. His family is hurt. The community is hurt. It's not my fault. Bullshit. Let's stop bullshitting each other. We can grow together. I promise you. But when this national shit come down here in Ypsilanti, Washington County, everybody gonna be like, oh shit, oh shit. Let's blame Fink. No, let's put blame where blame's supposed to be. That's what you call justice, right? Let's put blame right.
And I don't want to.
Y'all should not threaten this judge. This judge did not need to be threatened. Listen to the whole thing. I'm sorry. I'm long-winded. I don't have to talk no more. I'm hurt. I'm hurt because we are not looking at what's really going on. The boy was protected. Let's be fucking honest. He was protected because he has a family member working up under the sheriff department. The news came out on the news and they scrubbed it. Come on. But don't throw this judge, this magistrate under the fucking bus. Ellie, you ain't shit if you ain't gonna stand up there and say, it was my fault. I slipped up on this one. Do like a motherfucking real G, dude. You out here shooting basketball. You out here shooting basketball at the Willow. Come on, bro. In Sycamore Meadows, come on, talk. It was my fault. I slipped up. I should have been there when that guy tried to get out of jail. That's all you had to say, dog. I would have stood by your ass. But for you to sit there and push Judge Magistrate Fink under the bus and say, oh, I asked for 100,000 while you was out there painting in yellow. I got the fucking photos. Let's be honest. Fuck all this. Because what's going to happen is y'all going to get a whole bunch of armed niggas down here with guns. And what y'all going to fucking do? These armed niggas gonna come down here with guns, and Washington County prosecuting is gonna say, I'm with the Black Lives Matter. No, motherfucker, you need to speak up and say, no, I fucked up. You gonna get this business fucked up. You gonna get this guy's house fucked up. You gonna get probably other things fucked up. Because you ain't man enough to open your fucking mouth and say, I fucked up on this one. I'm sorry, Bill. I'm done. I did say that before. Forgive me.
Look, I'm just going to say this, and I know you're not a fan of LA Sabbath.
I don't care about him. Shit.
I know, but I'm going to defend the guy for a minute, okay?
Okay. Run it.
I'm going to defend LA. I'm going to defend Victoria. And I'm going to say, I believe they want what's best for this community. And I'm not their favorite person, believe me, because I'm a strong criminal defense lawyer. But with all that being said, I think everybody should step up to the plate and say, look, why was the information not provided to Magistrate Fink? And if we didn't know, that's fine. Let's just be real about it, but let's not throw her under the bus.
Don't say that.
If we didn't know the facts on June 7th, let's just say, look, we found some other stuff out. We got to raise this guy's bond. But that judge should have a target on her. Number two, you said something, and I've heard rumors about this. Did the defendant or does the defendant have a relative at the Washington County Sheriff's Department? And is that why they moved him to Livingston?
The news said it. It was fucked up. The news said it. The news said it. Everybody echoed it. And then 6 hours later, Fox 2 scrubbed that part.
Gotcha.
I got it. I recorded it. Sorry, I did. Fox 2, you fucked up. But yeah, he got a family member working there. And yes, the tax record says, and I'm not going to lie, the tax record says what they say. Y'all know how to go on Google and search your tax records.
Sure.
I'm not going to put the family members out there, but I'm saying, if my name is Bridges and if my family owns next door and they last name Bridges and they own that business, put two and two together, go figure, damn it, go figure. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. Let's just, what our problem is in the county, Washaway County have been so used to not providing the facts to the public. And what has happened, the public has got smart as hell and they actually know how to get their damn facts, them damn selves. So when the county start lying, that's why we get mad to the motherfucker. When you lied to us and we already, we already got all the goddamn paperwork. I got the receipts. So Ellie, Jerry, y'all motherfuckers start telling the truth. Because what's wrong with this administration, if the public starts finding out before y'all start telling the truth, it's gonna be some bullshit in this bitch. I'm just telling you, what the public is not reporting is the truth. Go search the tax records on that business and ask Sheriff Clayton, whom is the person that worked at the sheriff department that caused this young man to get arraigned in Livingston County. Let's just be real with the bullshit. I'm sorry, it's facts. It's out.
Really, I didn't know why the guy was arraigned in Livingston County. What the hell? Why? Was it public safety? What am I missing here?
The judge said it was for his public safety.
Right.
But the sad part about it, he owns the place that he shot out. And he's not representing the truth to the public. He didn't represent the truth to the judge. And what it is, the public see through the bullshit. And what it is Ellie Savage, prosecuting attorney's office, until they quit with the bullshit and start telling the truth about this fucking case, it's gonna get nasty. Nationally, it's gonna get real nasty, and I'm warning you now, because I've got calls and I'm trying to hold people off. I didn't want to give the address or the tax information or the assessor's information about the boys' people's place. But I'm saying some of the facts that the news put out is 100% verifiable. Ellie needs to jump out here and put a real deal, not a hostage video out, and talk to the public and be straightforward. Maybe he can redeem himself, because the public found out more information about Ryan than Ellie is providing. So all I'm saying, I'm not going to provide this information. This shit is public information. Match the last names. Go figure. I don't care what you do. So people stop putting out the bullshit saying he's not affiliated here, he's not affiliated there. If my last name is Bridges and my next door last name is Bridges too, go figure. I'm just telling you. So I'm just saying, Ellie and whomever in this administration need to stop bullshitting the public. The public is very smart and they own your ass. Stop lying to us, Ellie. That was a protection of Ryan. Ryan's family member, somebody worked there. Let it out. That's your best bet. That restaurant, look at the fucking tax records. Period. Call me out. Look at the tax records, unless they scrub them. I got it. Already got it. But look at the damn tax records. I'll bring receipts. So something real fishy about this whole situation, bro. It ain't about black and white. It is the public is being bamboozled right before their eyes. And our leading prosecuting attorney will not be truthful. And that's why he's taking so much heat. And I'm just busting everything. I'm just blowing it all out right now. I'm telling it right now. We know who owns Powerhouse. We already know who his relative is. So if you don't fucking tell it by Wednesday, the shit coming out. If you don't tell it, it's coming out. So you ain't being honest with your constituents. That's why the constituents mad. We dig the fuckery happened in the court system. We got that. Because if it would have been a black guy shot at an Asian kid, his ass wouldn't have had no bond. And the prosecutor would have been right there. And the damn deputy. We ain't gonna bullshit. That's what we not gonna do on this show. We not gonna sugarcoat it. We not. Bill, you've been straightforward. I told you how much I love your ass. I don't care if you on their side. I don't give a fuck what side you on, goddammit. You've been a good guy. You are defending people in our homes, in our communities. But what I can't do is let the prosecuting attorney bullshit the public. And there's some pertinent information that I found out that they need to really let out. That's why the judge said, I'm quite disturbed about what the people has presented. Let's be honest. I got my documents. I'm not going to sit there. I do not wish no hate, no destruction on that doggone business on Washtenaw. Stop. Put a pause on it. But let this prosecutor speak the truth for one time to the public. Let them know there was a cover-up in the beginning. I had to catch it because the public got eye to it. And yes, this man do own the business on Washtenaw, but do not destroy his business or I will prosecute you. I need Ellie to speak that up because the people know how to go look through the tax records. So let's not bullshit. You're an attorney, a wonderful attorney. You broke this shit down. I'm sorry for dragging all this in. You're on the show with me. You stuck. Fuck it. All I'm saying is Ellie got to stop bullshitting us because we smarter motherfuckers now.
I'll tell you this, some of the stuff you've mentioned, which is news to me, and I've always known you to be straightforward. Okay. We've never hung out or anything, but I've never known you to bullshit me.
Some of the things bullshit you.
Some of the things that you said tonight about the business and the relative and all that, that's concerning as hell.
Okay.
That is concerning.
Pull up the tax records.
No. What I'm saying is,
if the tax records, I put the right hand of God. If the tax records, somebody on the tax records, if they don't match that doggone suspect's name, I'm dead tomorrow. That ain't concerning to me because I'm a real one. I did my investigation. I didn't want to put that out. But what's happening is the prosecuting attorney's office has thrown people under the bus where he needs to speak the truth so the public can back his ass.
Do you believe, I guess you would, this guy's gonna be able to pay that $100,000 bond?
He could put up his father's house. He can put up his father's house. Am I wrong, Bill? Am I wrong?
He could.
His father could put up his house and go get his baby out of jail, put him with that GPS, and they could actually leave his father's house and go to their vacation house. All I'm saying is what happened is they put all that shit on record. And that's the sad thing about it. They put all that shit on record, oops, by mistake. And that was during Fink's trial, Fink's arraignment. They put it on record, accidental. They gave the guy's father's address. He gave his email address, everything. So the public was already searching. I already had the information. Nope. All bullshit aside, the guy lied to the judge. He do own, his people own that Poe house. Look on the tax record. Before everybody sit there and say, oh, the people reporting wrong, go look on the assessors, the record, the tax records. Go look on it. It'll be suspicious. Because I looked on it before I started speaking on it. I don't want to speak on nothing, but go look on it. Go look on it. That name is a very familiar name. All bullshit aside. Now, I'm not joking, but he misrepresented the bullshit to the judge. He bamboozled the judge or the magistrate. And at that same time, no prosecuting there, no prosecuting attorney, nobody from the arresting officer to combat what he said. Because they was like, wait a minute, you chased the boy with a hammer. You already had, you threw the boy bike in a trash can before. So yeah, he had ongoing beefs with that family. So nobody was speaking for the boy. The prosecutor didn't speak for the boy or the arresting officer. Yes, deputy, you fucked up because you should have been there fighting for that boy. Or was y'all too hostile on the doggone father? Instead of trying to figure out, oh, well, the father didn't shoot. Wait a minute. Yeah, let's talk to Ryan. Let's be honest. I have no, what do you call it?
Skin in the game.
I have no skin in the game. Honestly. I don't give a fuck about I don't give a fuck about a magistrate, a judge, none of that. I ain't gonna cuss you out, but I have no skin in the game. I'm just bringing y'all the real deal. It was information to the public is tax accessory records. You can go find out from the public in Ypsilanti Township, Washtenaw County, who owns a specific business. If you go in there and find out and pull up a name, and that particular name matches the same name as the suspect, you ain't playing motherfucking Monopoly. You playing checkers, baby. Bottom line. Because I put it up and I said, who is this motherfucker? That must have been his daddy. And quite peculiar that they say the man don't own the house. Pull up them tax records too. His girlfriend don't own the house. Come on, pull the tax records up. So what's bad, Bill, I'm just trying to say, and I know I'm long-winded, is for him to bamboozle the public. That's the worst thing somebody like the prosecutor, new prosecutor, could do, is lie to the public when the public already got the damn information. They pulled that information. They pulled it. His girlfriend owned the house. Come on, y'all. Y'all know he owned that damn crib. He owned it. It's in his name. Or it's in his girlfriend name. Y'all did some quick property check. No, you can't. Y'all can't do that. So what I'm trying to tell you, go check the accessories records and pull up that doggone address and you'll get all your information. I just didn't put it out there. And somebody keep on texting me talking about, no, he just worked there. Well, how is his people the same last name ownership of that motherfucker? Okay. Fool me once, fool me twice. Okay, that's all. That's it. I mean, for real. I just don't like to be bullshitted. You know, I don't like to be told some bullshit when I find out, oh, he just lied to me. No. Yeah, that's the facts. I just didn't put it out there because the public was going to get it before I got it out there. So somebody prove me wrong tonight. For all you damn internet trolls, all you people that said, no, he don't, prove me fucking wrong tonight. Go on the assessor's records and pull that shit up. Call me. Call me. If the last name ain't the same, my mama name ain't Leola Bridges. And I don't play with my mama. Case closed. Prosecutor, Ellie Savage, you need to do some scrambling, baby. Maybe you need to do another hostage video because this situation is funny, fishy. Fox 2 was fucked up on it. Channel 7 was fucked up on it. And 4 was really fucked up on it. And I know all these damn judges in Washtenaw County, they must be snorting some shit if they loving what's going on with the damn prosecuting attorney's office. I know they don't like that. And I know all the cops that I done talked to, they pissed off. They pissed off. How you gonna sit there and let criminals back out on the streets? We gotta re-catch them again. Huh? Come on. So, public, go on your county website, go look for property assessors and find that fucking property yourself. And if the last name match to the last name of the suspect, all I'm saying is I didn't lie. I just told you where to get the information from. And ain't nobody sitting up there telling you no lies on the internet. I think, yes, they are. You need to check their ass. Flat out. I'm just being honest. But people mad at me because I curse. Fuck you. Turn my shit off. Turn my shit off because I'm telling the facts. Fuck you. Turn it off. Just turn the channel. You don't like me telling the truth? Ask your prosecutor to tell the truth. And he won't come on this show. He won't come on this show. Because I don't want to hear no bullshit. I want
Did you ask him on the show?
I know. I don't even want to ask him because it'd be a problem. Because I'm going to ask you straightforward. Don't come on here side twisting, motherfucking skin and grinning, hostage video. Don't read nothing that no attorney wrote for you so you can read it. I don't play that shit. He know. He know. But what he's done, he's misrepresented the facts to the public. Public, you're smarter than me. Fact check my ass. Go and find out who's the owner of that property. And if you can find out who's the family member that work in the sheriff department of Ryan, inbox my ass. I'll give you $100. Judge Fink, Magistrate Fink, should never have been thrown under the bus. Because when you get a charging document that look blank as this damn piece of this, it was like $100,000. That was all on the paper. That's all she had to go with. Come on, y'all. Come on. Don't be hoodwinked and bamboozled. I've been sentenced before. I know how the sentencing process works. I was a criminal. I know. Ain't no prosecutor gonna let me go, and I was a drug dealer, and they let a guy go who shot a 6-year-old child. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to do the real fact check. Come on, people. Bill knows what's happening. He's a smart man. He knows what happens in the courtroom, but there's some fishy shit happened on this arraignment, and I'm gonna be honest, real fishy. I ain't pointing no fingers, but it just real strange. So y'all do your fact checking, y'all. I'm serious. Please do your fact checking. And I do not wish no harm on nobody business. For those who are threatening or sending text, look, y'all dumb as hell. That's a federal crime. Stop sending threats to the judge or to the magistrate. Y'all know y'all fucking up.
Don't call 14A court and threaten to bomb the building.
Stop
Not a good
it.
idea.
Stop it.
Not a good
Listen
idea.
to what we said, y'all.
Jesus Christ. Not a good
Point
idea.
the blame where the blame belongs, y'all. Seriously. And I'm not softballing. I'm being real as hell. Because Bill like, what the fuck? This wasn't even our script, dude. And we didn't even talk about the script, bitch.
Now, this was not on the script. Okay, let's be
What the fuck? I'm just being Bill real with it, though. I like him. He 100%, but I'm just going to bring the fact. I just didn't want to snitch. That, I mean, look in the tax records. You can find out who owned any building. I'm just a messenger. But no harm to that building. He going to need that for his bond. So all I'm saying, for real, y'all, for real, seriously, he gonna need that building for his bond, y'all. No, people are inboxing me, texting me, talking about look, the joke's on you. I already got the information. Just stop it. Young lady, whoever texted me talking about he just worked there. No, stop, please. The mask is up. So that's all.
all right.
I hope I wasn't too harmful to Bill. I'm sorry.
No. You know what? I never thought I would be defending Ellie Savin against you.
Hell no.
Okay, but here we are.
I mean,
you're telling your opinion.
You know what? I liked the guy when he said John Legend was his guy, but he fucked me up because he couldn't really name none of the songs.
Okay.
I'm a DJ. I'm almost 52 years old. I know literally every trap song that runs over and over and over. I'm just saying. I'm like, I like the guy. I like his spunk, but don't fucking bullshit me. That's the worst thing you do. That's like telling me my damn welfare check ain't coming. And you know a lot of people mad if their welfare check ain't coming on time.
I don't know what music he listens to. I do think he cares for this community, but
I know he do.
And I don't think Magistrate Fink ever should have been thrown under the bus without the facts being presented.
I agree with you. Ellie cares about this community. I agree with you 1,000%. I agree with you that Victoria cares about this community. I agree with you 1,000%. But that does not shift my thoughts that they don't have the professionalism to channel our crime in Washtenaw County correctly. That's just my own personal opinion. I'm not no palm puff guy for nobody. I'm just saying, all this fuckery right now going on, and the news that I heard from Channel 4 when I heard that woman talk about how that man crawled in her child's window and covered her child's mouth and said, "Don't you scream." That's a fucking predator. Can't happen in here. Washtenaw County, all I'm saying is we have to fact check everything. Fact check me. Fact check me. But when you have good lawyers on the case, you have professionals like Bill Amadeo, and also his law firm, y'all give them a call. That's McManus and Amadeo, PLLC, 2500 Packard Street, number 106, Ann Arbor, Michigan, 48104. Telephone number. Call these brilliant geniuses that's lawyers. 800-392-7311. That's 800-392-7311. Give them a call. But our show, bottom line, 100% no BS. I'm sorry if we rub some of y'all supporters' toes. I'm just saying, call me out on everything I said. It's just facts. It's just real deal. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm your brother. Don't hate the messenger. Thank you, Bill. I really appreciate you. I hope I didn't embarrass you. And I hope none of them judges don't give you no hell on the bench on Monday morning. If they do, give me a call. I'll interview them on I Thought You Knew.
I think me and the judges are pretty cool right now. You know?
My man. I see you represent it like you're supposed to. I appreciate you.
You know. With that being said, while you and I may not agree on everything, we should talk more because I like the back and forth. I like your passion.
Hey,
we were actually going to do something together, but then the election got out of hand, and we'll leave that horse dead.
We live, brother. We live right now. I ain't gonna lie on live. We are going to do plenty more together. I apologize for not being able to come forward. Blame it on my mental illness because I'm crazy. I came from the south side of Ypsilanti. My ass is crazy to bed bugs, man. So trust me, when I get back with you, we'll do something great. And I guaranteed you, man, you'll be proud. And when we started the show today, we had a 5-minute prep. There were 2 questions that were going to be asked, right? That's it. And now, and look, and we didn't rocked it, man. I talked a lot because you know I'm passionate, man. But I see that, man. I see that legal mind, man. You got that legal mind. I appreciate you, and I know for a fact that people appreciate you for representing them. And Bill, it's been an honor. And like I said, once again, I can't apologize for my passion. It came from Leola Bridges. We went through a lot of shit, but I appreciate you and thank you for coming on the show. You got it. And I hope you don't get in no trouble tomorrow. God bless you, bro. Take care, man. Say it. All right.